Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. The Michigan primaries and the general election are coming up, so we thought we should say something about why you should vote. Elizabeth Wallis from the League of Women Voters in Texas says here are some reasons why you should vote. She says if nobody votes, it's not a democracy. If you don't vote, people will not take you seriously. Voting is how you define yourself as part of something larger than yourself. Number four, if you do not vote, someone else will make the decisions for you. Voting is part of your independence. Number five, it matters. It matters to the future of you, your family, and your community. Six, people who don't vote are letting down their families and their communities. Moms, do you have an 18-year-old in your family? If so, give him or her register and be certain they vote. 8. Refusing to vote isn't a rebellion, it's a surrender. Number 9. Love your country. Prove it by voting. Number 10. Voting is the great equalizer. The richest billionaire in America gets just one vote, the same as you and me. Number 11. What do the smart people do? They vote. They are voters. Number 12. Elections have consequences. Be a voter. Elected officials make all the big decisions and they listen to the people who vote. Number 14. If you don't vote, you're invisible to the elected officials who make all the big decisions. Number 15. Did you know people with money spend billions of dollars on elections? Billions spent for television ads, mailers, people to make phone calls and to knock on doors. The smart people spending all that money are trying to influence the voters. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it. Number 16. If you don't vote because you think your vote doesn't matter, then the people who don't want you to vote because you are afraid of how your vote will not win. Number 17. Bad people are elected by the good people who did not vote. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have died to protect your right to vote. You owe it to them to vote. 19. Voting is the right thing to do. Start preparing to vote now. Go and register at the Secretary of State's office. Find out where your polling place is and be prepared to be the first person in line to vote that day. If you do not have transportation to the polling place, call your local library and find out who is offering free transportation to polling locations. Remember, vote. During this session, we are going to discuss winning. Winning has nothing to do with luck. It has to do with preparation, self control, assurance, tenacity, commitment, fortitude, and courage. To win, you must be honest with yourself. Why lie about who you are just to keep up appearances, to keep up with the other women or men in the neighborhood, spending money that you do not have, hoping someone or some way you can pay your house note because you went out and purchased a $500 purse just to impress someone? You have to think about your conduct. You are married, but you start dating Albert. Your husband, Daryl, finds out and divorces you. Now you are in your 60s. You have no pension, so you have to go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's just to take care of yourself. Albert never asked you to marry him, and he soon left after your divorce. See, you can lose a husband and a man on the side at the same time. What women do not know is the man on the side is only attracted to you because you are married, which means he's not responsible for you. When your brother tells you not to bring a man into your home over your children, you argue with him. Now that your son is in prison and your daughter is working on the street, you want to tell them how sorry you are. Your brother has stopped talking to you because of your conduct. In fact, no one in the family wants to have anything else to do with you because you allow your boyfriend to bring you down in life. He is the reason why you got caught selling stolen goods and was sent to prison. Your boyfriend told you stealing was easy, and that way y'all could stay home, drink or smoke marijuana, and watch TV. See, bad behavior contributed to your not being a winner. Emotions can make you physically ill. You can approach your day anticipating gloom and doom. You become sick at work where finally you can barely drive home because you have a headache from worrying. Not once have you tried to change your experience. What you are experiencing is fear caused by something that you fear. You have let fear control your every waking moment. Your thoughts and fear can put you in a box that will keep you from winning at home and at work. You are failing because you do not believe and you lack courage to find out what you need to know. If you want to win, then you must practice winning. The first thing you need to do is select an outfit and keep that outfit in your closet along with a pair of nylons and a pair of nice shoes and a handbag just in case you need to go and find out about a job at the spur of the moment, or you have an appointment in the evening that's important. Keep this outfit in the closet always. That way you are prepared. You don't have to run around the house frantic trying to find something to wear. The optic word in winning is persist. Do not venture off course. You must have a clear, defined goal. You have to learn to keep your mouth shut. People hear you talking at work or gossiping at church, and they will not share information with you because they know you're a loudmouth. They don't want you telling their business. So do not give your ideas away at work or at home or with your friends. Your friends will betray you for money, honey. Here are two examples of what can happen when you believe in yourself. On January 8, 2019, Sergeant Tara Lynn Baker became the first female Marine to graduate, completing the Winter Mountain Leadership course. Now Baker is qualified to teach other Marines how to survive a treacherous mountainous climate. The 6-week course is a rigorous program that trains Marines to conduct operations at high altitudes and in alpine terrains. The course is to teach one to survive in intense cold where you encounter frostbite and hypothermia. The Marines must learn how to overcome the snow and cold. This is what Sergeant Baker had to say for herself. I learned what I'm capable of. I learned what I can do and what I can accomplish, and nobody can tell me that I can't. I'm proud of myself. Nobody else needs to be proud of me. I've definitely been through the ringer, being a whole 115 pound right now and carrying anything from 60 to 95 pound pack or dragging a sled that's a good 65 pounds through the snow on skis. It's definitely a challenge for the body. To this, January 1st, 2019, 17 black female judges were sworn into office in Harris County, Texas. One of the judges sworn in was County Judge Linda Hidalgo. She was also sworn in on Hidalgo is a 27-year-old Colombian immigrant who unseated the incumbent Republican Ed Emmett in the November election. At the time, Emmett had held the position of county judge for more than 10 years. February the 2nd, 2019. The Navy flew the missing man formation to honor the first female jet pilot, Navy Captain Rosemary Bryant. Marina, retired Captain Marina died January 24th, 2019 at the age of 65. Her funeral was held in Maynardville, Tennessee. The flyover consisted of an all-female aviators from Squadron Base at a Navy Air Station, Oceana in Virginia. In 1973, Rosemary Marina was one of 8 women selected to fly military aircraft and received her wings from the Navy the following year. In 1982, she became one of the first females to serve aboard a U.S. Navy warship, the USS Lexington, where she also qualified as a surface warfare officer. Then 8 years later, she became the first woman to command a military aviation squad. When she retired in 1997, she had logged 17 aircraft carrier landings and she had completed over 3,500 flight hours in 15 different aircrafts. Her father was a military aviator who was killed during the Korean War in 1956. Rosemary Marina was 3 years old when he died. Although she was qualified to fly a commercial airline, the field was closed to women in 1972. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break.
Today, I want to talk about self-control, the restraint exercised over one person's impulses, emotions, or desires. It is easy nowadays to lose control. We eat too much, drink too much. Everything is accessible to us. The hard part in life is finding that balance, that presence of mind to know what is good for you, and to live with that discipline. I know through my own journey that when I am balanced, when I'm showing self-restraint, I start moving better. I start thinking better. I become more confident in who I am. And that's what I want you to think about. What can you do to become more balanced, to act on need and not on emotion? Remember, you are the women of courage. Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage. I want to talk today about commitment. The act of making an agreement or a pledge to do something in the future. Now listen, we are all called by God, and through Him is our strength. So during these times, these hardships, we need to stay committed. Committed to His Word, committed to freeing yourself from the negativity, committed to empowering yourself, bettering yourself, and living your life to the fullest. through God, all is possible. Once you believe and once you are committed. You are the women of courage. Today, I want to talk about response. How do you personally respond to a setback in your life? I heard a pastor once say, "Don't let a bad chapter in your life be the final chapter." And that really hit me. How often do we let one bad thing in our life own us? You lost your job, your family left you, you struggle with abuse or addiction. Those things do happen in life. But that's not what you focus on. You focus on the response. How do I move forward now? What do I do now? Real faith is believing in something big, but willing to start small. Fortitude can be defined as the strength of mind that enables a person to encounter danger or to bear pain or adversity with courage and staying power. Think about that for a moment. Fortitude is the strength you have when you go through adversity. Everyone listening will go through pain, struggle, and disappointment in our lives. That is a fact. But what defines each of us is what we do after that pain, after that struggle and disappointment. Do we lay down and become a victim, or do we rise up and continue to push forward, continue to believe, continue to fight for ourselves? Remember, you are the women of courage.
One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of others. This way, one can avoid mistakes other people made, possibly achieving success faster. This is one of the reasons why you cannot afford not to read the series Women of Courage. In this series, the lives and times of several women are chronicled who by sheer courage conquered the world around them. These women are explained in the quote by Waldo Ralph Emerson, who said, "When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, which is the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find out it comes off in his hand, and that it was only tied on to scare away the timid adventurers." Listen to the quote again. When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find it comes off in his hand, and that it is only tied on to scare away the timid adventurers. Women in the book Women of Courage were ordinary women just like all of us, but they were determined to do extraordinary things. From the story of their lives, you will learn how to stop living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your own terms. From them, failure will not be an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and to reach for their goals again and again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much so that their lives could easily serve as a template for other women to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going, where finally he won and invented the light bulb and other inventions. Same thing happened with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. One thing about the series Women of Courage, the books are not ordinary books. These books will challenge you. They will push you and inspire you to gain life again. Now we're going to give you a very important lesson to remember for the rest of your life. This is a strategy used by militaries all over the world. I believe the theory was developed by the British Army. The principle is called Proper Preparation Prevents Poor Performance. It is entitled the 7Ps military adage. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if you want to perform well, then you must prepare well. It is that simple. And if you think about it, when you realize exactly how the British won the Second World War, how they kept Germany from invading them, you will see this principle in their actions. For example, spending within your means and putting a good portion of your money away means you are being prepared for the future. Learning how to live frugally will ensure you that once you have something stored away in case of a rainy day, sooner or later there's always going to be a rainy day. About this with respect to preparation. Educating yourself is one of the best ways to prepare for any eventuality. If you back yourself up with a university degree, you immediately increase your chances of landing a high paying job. Educating yourself by attending seminars, conferences, or even listening to podcasts on fields and areas that you are interested in will arm you with some sort of knowledge and know how when you will eventually step out into the world. Circumstances in life like losing your home, losing your car, or losing your job may take away your material possessions, but they will never take away your education. You must discipline yourself. You must wake early in the morning to make certain that you are properly prepared for work, allowing you enough time in case something goes wrong that morning. Make time for exercise. Work hard to achieve your goals and have everything to do with winning and preparing. Discipline is one of the highest forms of preparation that anyone can do for themselves. You're creating good habits and you're conditioning your body to be in the best state possible. Then you are preparing yourself for any eventuality and creating an environment that is more conducive to being successful. Following a regimen eliminates waste time and it allows you to get more done within a day. Being lucky has nothing to do with winning. You win by the principle proper preparation prevents poor performance. Now, I want you to take what I just said and we're going to look at a specific woman. We're going to discuss Stacey Abrams. She's the woman who ran for governor of Georgia. Let us see if we can find the principle in her life, meaning proper preparation prevents poor performance. Confucius says success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Okay, well, Stacey Abrams had not failed in her life. Stacey Abrams was born December 9th, 1973, in Madison, Wisconsin. She is now 47 years old. Let us take a look and see what she has done in her 47 years. At the age of 18, she decided to go to college. Although she was born in Wisconsin, she ended up in Georgia because her parents were pursuing master's degrees. So at the age of 18, Stacey decided to attend Spelman College, and in 1995, she earned a bachelor's degree. She studied political science, economics, and sociology. As a Harry S. Truman Scholar, she studied public policy at the University of Texas in Austin, the LBJ School of Public Affairs, where she earned a master's degree of public affairs degree in 1998. In 1999, she earned a JD degree from Yale Law School. This means that Miss Abrams attended 3 universities and studied for 8 years from 1991 until 1999, which means that she had to be disciplined and determined. She was not out partying all night, and she didn't have a bunch of children that she couldn't take care of. Clearly defined her goals, and then she set about accomplishing her goals. After graduation, she worked as a tax attorney. Then she founded a beverage company that focused on infants and toddlers. Then she worked for a legal consulting firm. Then in 2007, she became a Georgia General Assemblyman, where she worked this job for 10 years. Look at the pace. She is constantly moving forward, and she did not leave a disaster in her wake. In 2018, she became a gubernatorial candidate. She became the first black woman in the United States to be a major party nominee for governor. She lost the race, but she proved what was now possible. Black women can excel in several fields, including politics. After her defeat, she made a brilliant move. She decided to tackle the problem of voter registration and the right of people to vote in their particular state. She didn't think about going back to her old jobs. She was thinking about moving forward. She knew that there is a problem all over this country with voting, so she decided to tackle this big problem. So on August 17, 2019, Miss Abrams announced that she founded the Fair Fight 220 organization that will assist Democrats financially and technically to build voter protection teams in 20 states. She also founded another organization, the Fair Fight Action 2020 organization. As we look at her life, we will see that she had good time management. She set herself achievable goals, and then she started going after these goals. But she kept herself and her mind organized, did not veer off her course. We can see that she was not afraid to fail. She stayed away from distractions. She did not listen to someone else's prophecies for her life. She did not associate with negative people, and she became an avid reader. A couple of days ago, Stacey Abrams was interviewed on the Seth Meyers show, where she discussed voter registration and people being thrown off the voter roll. And she discussed what her organization was going to do about these two problems. Is she not moving forward? I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break. Reading is one of the most important activities that a person can participate in. A world of information is available to you. This information can help you shape and change not only your life but the lives of your children and spouse. Visit the website touchedbythelight.us and find yourself a book to read. For more information, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Every day we wake and drive to work, and we see people walking around, smiling, giving the appearance of happiness, and we envy them. We wish that our lives were like theirs. We drive home and turn on the television, and we see people walking around smiling at their friends and spouses, and we envy them, and we wish we could live a life just like theirs. These thoughts bring misery into our lives because we believe what our eyes see. We accept what is in front of us as being true. We do not see the makeup artist in the background making the final touch-ups to the actor's face. We do not see the diet pills the actors shovel down their throats at night so they can avoid eating. We believe what we see, and what we see makes us miserable. We want to trade places. We begin to think, why could it not have been me? Why could I not have a car like that? Why could I not have a wife like that? Why could I not have a husband like that? Why could I not have a house like that? On and on the questioning continues until finally we are dissatisfied with the world around us. Why could I have not been born to parents like that? All these questions force us to turn inward, and we attack ourselves. We begin to say, I thought Mary would make a wonderful wife when I married her. Now she has grown fat. She complains every day. She never stops. I wake in the morning and she complains. I drive to work and she calls complaining. I come home at night and she complains. Will nothing change? Or you think, I thought Tom would make a great husband. Now I know all he thinks about is the next woman he's going to take to bed. I'm tired of watching him. I just don't care anymore. If he wants to take the entire neighborhood to bed, I don't care. How did I get here? Am I destined to live a life I do not want? A life I hate? Is there nothing going to change? Every day we make changes, we negotiate with ourselves. We make comparisons and we come up short, and we become more and more unhappy. This is why you must take action. Otherwise, your unhappiness will lead you to alcohol, drugs, petty feuds at work, extramarital affairs, obesity, then death. Yes, unhappiness can lead to death. This is why you must take control over your life. No matter where you find yourself, you must take control of your life. Taking control will not be immediate, but the more you work at reclaiming your life and restoring yourself, control will come. You must be careful when you start your reclamation process, because others around you will not want you to change. They will want you to remain the unhappy person you have always been. If you decide to return to school, keep it to yourself. If you decide to buy a new house, keep it to yourself. If you decide to move out of state, keep it to yourself. People have gotten used to the old you, and the new you may have problems exerting authority over your life with others and putting a down payment on the future. You simply may want to learn to play the piano. Do not listen when someone tells you you're too old to learn to play. If you want to learn to play the piano, do just that. Read the ads in the paper and find a teacher, or contact a local school for an instructor and begin learning to play the piano. This is your life, not anyone else's. Have you noticed how mean some older people are? The meanest comes from dissatisfaction. They spent their entire life doing what was expected of them, doing what someone else told them to do, and now they are 65, 70, or 80 years of age. They realize they never did what they wanted to do. Is that not enough to make one angry? Communication is the key. We spend a great deal of time learning to communicate with others. We should spend an equal amount of time learning to communicate with ourselves. We need to stay in touch with ourselves over the years. We need to ask ourselves, what is next? Am I following someone else's playbook? Are there any changes I can make to my life that will make me happy? After you determine what these changes are, you need to sit down and assess how easy or difficult these changes will be to achieve. The books You Are the Prophet of Your Life and The Devil's Cauldron give a different perspective on self-assessment. Knowing how to relate to others is just as important as knowing how we relate to ourselves. You'll be surprised at the reading. The books are not any other. The books are a good exercise for a reality check. The full complement of books on this website was written at great cost to the writer. Jealous, envy, and even hatred was explored. You will find Be Not Defeated in Hard Times, an acclamation to the human spirit. If you do not entertain defeat, you will keep on walking, talking, and working until you win. It is all a matter of goals and asking yourself, what do I want? You may say you want an F-150, but are you willing to work a second job to buy one? Or will you tell your wife why this truck is so important to you that you have to have one? It is all a matter of goals and self-examination. Why do you have to buy a dress every week? Why are you always trying to get the attention of Betty's husband? Out of all the men in the state, you have to try and attract someone else's husband? What does Betty have other than her husband that you envy, so that you have to take her husband to bed? Why was it necessary for you to sneak a peek in her dresser drawers and see how many panties she's had? Why does it make you feel better to humiliate others? Think about it. Why? Read and find your way out of the mess you're in. Reading and considering another point of view can incite you to a new idea or spark your imagination that will lead you to change.
I presented to you the above information to introduce the book, The Woman I Want to Be. You need to read this book. It is a small book, but it has a powerful message. And to my male listeners, any reading material I suggest is equally important to men as well as women, because some of you have daughters. My broadcast may target women, but men can surely learn from my shows. The book tells you you must make up your mind that you are going to take control of your life, regardless of what other people have to say about the direction that you choose. You have to believe that you can accomplish as much with your life as other people accomplish with theirs. You must be resolved to go out and get the knowledge that you need to conduct yourself, what you have to do, and to be the person that you want to be. This is it. You're going to take a stand. You are not going to ignore the desires of your heart. What you are going to ignore are the naysayers in your life. You are going to move away from them. You are going to eliminate all naysayers from your life. You are going to seek new and more interesting people to pal around with. You're going to seek out people who not only have a plan for their lives, but people who are living these plans. You are going to associate with people who not only talk about their future, but are moving toward new and better futures. You will refuse to associate with anyone who is always using the word easy. As soon as a person gives you or talks to you about the word easy, you pay real close attention to this person because their thinking is not correct. So you are going to avoid all people who are constantly using the phrase, I'm a gonna do this and I'm a gonna do that. You will not associate with people who lie, cheat, and steal. People who are always looking for someone that they can use, abuse, or cheat. You do not have to let other people define you just because you have big feet or your nose is too large for them. Look at the people around you. I mean, really take a good look. They are not perfect physically or mentally. Everyone you meet is fighting some sort of problem. They are either in the process of fighting that problem or they just won over that problem and they're taking a celebration at their success for overcoming whatever other people said that they could not do or should not do with their lives. You're going to have to do some bookkeeping to determine where you are, what obstacles you have to overcome. Make certain you are living in a safe area. You must exercise safety precautions. You should always park in a safe location or ask an attendant to accompany you to your car if you leave a store late at night. You need to survey your net worth. You should establish a savings account for a rainy day. I don't care if you just save $5 a week. You should sit down and talk to yourself and decide whether you should return to school for further education. In other words, sit down and take an inventory of your life. The greatest thing that you can do in inventorying your life is not to look back. You must accept the mistakes that you have made. Put the mistakes behind you. Do not holler and scream at your mate or your children because you are angry with the circumstances of your life. Just change. When you face the past, you have to say to yourself, okay, I did it. That's that, and it's over with. For yourself, those were not good decisions, and I will not make them again. I will learn from my errors in the past, and I will move on with my life. I accept that some of the past relationships did not work out. I cannot change the past, but I can affect my future. You want to change professions because you do not like your job. Ask yourself, what job would you like to perform in the future? Think realistically about your choices. Sit down and see if you can change professions safely. That means economically. Do you need more education? How are you going to pay for this education? Should you work at McDonald's to earn extra money that you will need for education? You don't have to tell anybody that you're working part time at McDonald's and working a full time job somewhere else. You are definitely not to tell anyone of your plans because you will not need them telling you what you can and cannot do at work. Soothsayers are good for discouraging people. Working at McDonald's will not be that bad once you begin telling yourself that by the end of the year, how much money you will have in the bank. Tell yourself that you are accomplishing something, that you are going about changing your life. It is possible to work at McDonald's to save enough money to start a business. Several people have done it. Thousands of people have worked two jobs to earn enough money to start their own business. The key to this is keeping your mouth shut and to tell your spouse to keep her mouth shut or his mouth shut. In-laws are the worst soothsayers, especially when they are afraid that you're going to try their dreams. Soothsayers are people who did not have the guts to fight for their dreams. They love to tell other people what can and cannot be done based on their failures in life. Soothsayers are people who give up on their dreams. They gave up on their dreams early in life. They let society beat them down. They let society tell them what they could and could not do. And the soothsayers accepted what they were told. Soothsayers live miserable lives. They get up in the morning, start their morning off like someone told them. They drive to work like someone told them to do. They leave work and drive home like someone told them to do. And at the next day, they start the routine all over again. Internally, they are disappointed. They are unhappy. They are sad. They use adultery as a distraction. They need something to tell them that they are still alive. When all they have to do is decide that they are going to live the life the way they want to live and work the job that they want to job, which will make them happy. Remember all of the women that we previously discussed? If you think about these women, every woman who we previously discussed proves only sacrifice can bring you great strength. And remember, keep your mouth shut if you choose to work at Wendy's, McDonald's, or Burger King so you can make some extra money and save it to go back to school or to buy yourself a house. Because you know what your friends are going to do? They're going to find that McDonald's and start coming into McDonald's and smiling and laughing at you. So you don't need this, so don't tell nobody what your plans are. Shut your mouth. We thank you for listening to my broadcast. We would like for you to consider the women we just discussed. Think about the lives they led, what they had to do to win, the forces that they were fighting, and how they managed their families, their friends, their spouses, and their jobs. What these women did with their lives was not easy, but they stepped out into the unknown believing in themselves. They were willing to share their lives with others. They had great compassion and love for their fellow man. Do yourself a favor and read about these women. They will inspire you. You have no idea what you can accomplish with your life. All you have to do is believe. You are capable of great things. All you have to do is stand up and try. It is important that you wake to the forces affecting your lives and the lives of your children. You cannot sit back and let someone else do the work. You must become involved. It is all hands on deck. One day you may be sick and elderly and in need of food stamps. Then what? Are you going to sit at home saying to yourself, I should have done something better with my life? I should have joined other people in working toward a better community. I should have voted more. I should have made voting a priority in my life so that I could make my wishes known to the men and women I was sending to Washington instead of telling myself that my vote did not matter. You can do better with your life, but you must change the way you think. You need to expose your mind to different subjects. You need to surround yourself with people who are working toward a goal in their lives and not people who are standing in line waiting for the bar to open. You need to associate with people who are willing to pay for a tutor for their children to learn to read instead of purchasing marijuana to make themselves feel good. If you are a person who is constantly putting yourself down, you need to see a counselor or a psychiatrist. Do not lose your life to depression. Go seek help and the advice from a professional. You have no idea how much better you will feel. Your seeking a professional will help not only you but your family. Illnesses in families affect everyone. No one escapes the effect of self loathing and depression. Stop concerning yourself with what others think of you or what you think others think of you. What you must ask yourself is, what is it that I want out of life? And once you make that decision, you are to formulate a plan and start working toward that goal. And stop worrying about being alone. You are never alone. God is always with you. And remember, you are the prophet of your life. Recovering your life from foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, or other personal tragedies is not easy, but you must believe. You may be wounded, broken, battered, and hurt by life, but you must stand up and fight. People often say, when you're going through hell, never give up. It's easy for someone to say this, but talk is cheap. But you are in a place where every turn you take are met with a challenge or trouble, one thing after another. I'm not here to simply tell you not to give up. I understand what it means to be going through what you're going through right now. I slept on a cement floor being bitten by spiders to survive. However, I'm here to tell you that change is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you must hang on and do as I tell you. Yes, change is possible. I want you to hope and to believe against even all evidence. Spare is no respecter of status. It is no respecter of age, background, gender, or color. Somewhere right now there is a child crying, a man high on drugs, a mother dancing in a club just to pay her bills. Somewhere right now out there is a person heartbroken, a loss of a dear one, a failed promise of love. Somewhere out there is a person clothed in rags, without a home, without affection, and without a family, and without love. Somewhere right now, someone out there is broken, going through a rough time. I say unto you, hold on, stand fast. You can restore and recover your life. You must believe that you are worth fighting for, regardless of what the world says. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When a doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, and I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days, I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I do not know, but I will find out for you. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child. Saying I do not know is a courage, not a weakness. Have the courage to say I do not know, then go and ask a librarian to help you. Your child will learn his or her self-esteem and self-confidence from you. When you ask for help, it lets your child know there is no weakness in asking for help to obtain knowledge. Everyone in his or her lifetime will have to ask for help from someone. Your child will learn from your flexibility and courage. You can get more information on Women of Courage at touchedbythelight.us. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage. One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of other people. This way, one can avoid the mistakes other people have made and possibly achieve success faster. This is one of the reasons why you cannot afford not to read the series Women of Courage. In this series of books, the lives and times of several women were chronicled who, by sheer courage, conquered the world around them. These women are examples of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, which is the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find out that the beard comes off in his hand and that it was only tied on to scare away the timid adventurer." These are ordinary women like all of us, but they were determined to do extraordinary things. From the stories of their lives, you will learn how to stop making and living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your own terms. For them, failure was not an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and reach for their goals again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much that their lives could easily serve as a template for other women to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going. Finally, he won and invented the light bulb and other inventions. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. One thing about the series Women of Courage, the books are not ordinary books. These books will challenge you, push you, and of course inspire you to gain your life again. Remember, a man is what he thinks about all day. So said Ralph Waldo Emerson. Please tell your friends and family about our broadcast and invite them to listen to us every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. on 88.1 FM WHPR. You can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com to learn more about our programs and how you can become involved. You can find inspirational articles by the Women of Courage Show by visiting the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read some of our essays on your lunch hour. These articles will help you last throughout the day. They will inspire you not to quit. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Here are some more reasons why you should vote. whenever there is an election. Number one, elections have consequences. You have the power to decide on the quality of life you want for yourself and future generations. Voting is your chance to stand up for the issues you care about, like public transportation, raising the minimum wage, or funding local schools. This is your life. Take the time to help decide what is best. Not voting means you are giving up your voice. Elections are decided by the people who go out and vote. Take some time and learn about the measures and the candidates and the issues. If you don't vote, someone else will make the decision for you. Your power is in your vote. Number three, it is your money. You pay taxes, but you do not know how the money is being used. Most people don't. Voting is your chance to choose how your tax dollars should be spent, such as funding for health care and social services. Food stamps are very important to the elderly. Voice your concern by voting. Voting is an opportunity for change. Do you want to make a positive impact with your life? Voting gives you that chance. Support the candidates and the ballot measures that can help your community and your state and even the nation for the greater good. Make your voice heard in these elections. The community depends on you. Our communities are made up of friends, loved ones, neighbors, and children. Some may not know how important voting is, while others don't have the privilege. Make the decision to vote for yourself and those around you. Make sure your voice is heard. Vote in all upcoming elections. Make certain that your voice is heard. Start preparing now to vote. Go and register at the Secretary of State's office. Find out where your polling place is located and be prepared to be the first person in line on the voting day. If you do not have transportation to the polling place, call your local library and find out who is offering transportation to polling locations. Regardless, you must vote. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.